Let's go to the phone lines and welcome in Richard Davenport this morning. RD, what's up, man? I kind of want to start with a conversation we had earlier, the importance of Louisiana recruiting. We talk about Oklahoma, we talk about Missouri, we talk about Dallas, Texas, but I think when you look at some of the Louisiana kids that have come to school at Arkansas that have played football, you think about Scooter Harris, Anthony Lucas, Richard Smith, Devion Warren. I mean, how important is the state of Louisiana to Arkansas football?
Definitely in the past it's been very important. You usually get anywhere from on a given year, anywhere from 2 to 4, 6 kids from the state of Louisiana. So it's been very, very productive state for Arkansas, like you noted, and it's going up against LSU, being able to beat those guys is I don't think it's a game changer, but it definitely helps with Louisiana kids, especially the kids that are maybe being overlooked by LSU, but they're being recruited by others.
And I think that's always an interesting conversation when you have someone from another state that's going against the in-state school, this being Greg Brooks Jr. and Joe Fouché. Ed Ogeron was asked about that yesterday from Tom Murphy or Bob Holt. I'm forgetting the source. But, Richard, to go off that, how motivated are guys like Greg and Joe going against an in-state school that maybe didn't recruit them as hard as they should?
No, they got a chip on their shoulder. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure probably, just about every Louisiana kid wants to go to LSU, like the vast majority of Arkansas kids want to go to Arkansas. So you feel slighted, and here's an opportunity to show, hey, you missed out. And I'm sure they're going to do whatever they can to kind of point that out on Saturday.
I was making a point with Ty earlier that if we could ever get the south end of I-49 built in this state to connect from Alma down to Texarkana and build that corridor, what a pipeline that might be. Actually, we think about it just for commerce and for the economy and transportation, but you think about it from a recruiting standpoint, that northeast Texas, northern Louisiana area, the ease to get to Fayetteville. I've never really thought about it till today about a recruiting angle, but that area right there might open up some doors to get to Fayetteville. Moms and dads and kids might be a lot more open to the idea of getting to Northwest Arkansas with the ease of that road if it could only get built in our lifetime, RD.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. And heck, we lived that in our lifetime. Just Alma to Fayetteville. Just having to go that 2-lane for so many years, and then to finally be able to have that. I mean, it's also life saving. Let's face it. To be able to drive on a 4-lane versus a 2-lane, and so many times it's just you dread driving. Anytime you're kind of regulated to a 2-lane, you just dread that trip versus a 4-lane. So it definitely would help.
Yeah, people might be willing to vote in a toll road or pay more tax if they thought it'd help football recruiting. That might be the angle for the governor or whoever to get the money raised. If they thought we could get some 4 and 5 stars in recruiting, that might be the play politically.
Yeah, you'd have some that are definitely on the no side or on the kind of on the fence, and they go, raise right, yeah, okay, let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talking with Richard Davenport here on Recruiting Thursday, brought to you by Breen RV. RD, we got a text earlier this morning. I think it's Dennis in Van Buren. He's asking, are there still any in-state recruits that the Hogs are looking at, like Mason Brotherton, Jaden Williams, or trying to flip Drayden Norwood from Texas A&M?
Right now, I would probably say no. But again, I know Arkansas continues to evaluate kids throughout the season, and who knows, there may be a late offer. But as of right now, I would definitely lean towards no. But you just can't say that 100% certainty.
Richard, we were talking about basketball and just kind of the football connection a little bit. Eric Musselman, when he came on with us, he was talking about the importance of Isaiah getting drafted last night, Mason signing that two-way deal with the Houston Rockets. How important is it for Arkansas to continue to have guys drafted or picked up by NBA teams to continue Eric Musselman's success on the recruiting trail?
Well, that and going forward, it definitely would help in recruiting because, every kid wants to go to the NBA. And if you're not producing NBA talent, they'll start looking at other schools that are. So you hope that Isaiah and Mason are successful on the next level, and you hope the next batch of guys that are NBA worthy do well and get drafted, and that kind of helps your recruiting, and you can just point to the to a list of guys that have gone on to the NBA.
Yeah, you just when you look at the draft last night and you look at how the SEC performed, that was kind of I guess surprising to some degree to me. We were talking about 4 of the first 14 and none of them being Kentucky. Of course, had Anthony Edwards out of Georgia early. You had Lewis out of Alabama. You had a player from Vanderbilt. So the SEC performed well in this draft and led the nation with the most picks of any conference with 12. So, Richard, it shows you, if you're a player out there and you're evaluating which league might be best suited for you, the SEC is certainly making its case that it's back as one of the as one of the best leagues in the Power 5 in college basketball.
I guarantee you that wasn't overlooked by kids that are considering the SEC schools. There's no doubt about that. And then so many times you hear in football, the SEC is only Alabama, and we all know that's not true. And the same can be said for basketball because Kentucky usually turns out so many NBA prospects, but for it to be distributed throughout the league, that kind of tells you a little bit more about the depth of the SEC, and kids look at that and think, hey, the ACC's traditionally considered the top league in the nation, or the SEC is right up there with them.
I mean, 12 from the SEC, 10 from the Pac-10, 8 overseas, 8 from the ACC, but had 2 that didn't go to college, 1 from JUCO. You can kind of go through the list. Anthony Edwards goes number 1 overall from Georgia, clearly a football school, not a great basketball tradition. To me, what I take out of this when you look through the disparity, 1 from a prep school, if you're a player and you can play, they're going to find you. So, I mean, go where you want to go. Play for the coach you want to play at. If you're a player, they're going to come find you, Richard.
No, there's no doubt about that.
I mean that's the bottom line. So
the word gets around. If you can play, the word gets around. The scouts come see you play. And as far as you talking about Edwards, I was kind of surprised. I thought he might have dropped a little bit on that statement, saying that that football was his main love. Because, man, I'll tell you what, in basketball, that 82-game schedule, it's a grind. To me, it's just like college football and most of the sports on the next level. It's such a grind. You got to love that sport in order to be successful. And, but who knows? I'm sure they did their homework, but that kind of surprised me a little bit.
You just wonder, well, if like an Anthony Edwards, if he had chosen Duke or Kentucky or one of the big household names in college basketball, is his value with Nike or Under Armour or some of the equipment companies worth more? I mean, I don't think his value with the Timberwolves would be worth more, but would his value outside of basketball be worth more if he'd went somewhere other than Georgia to Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, UCLA, somewhere like that?
No, you make a good point, and those spaces, especially those the lottery pick guys, that's where they make a lot of money.
You're just on TV more at Duke than you are at Georgia. Period. National TV.
Absolutely. Sure. Definitely. I mean, his profile nationally would be much higher.
Yeah.
Well, RD, before we let you go, I know that obviously we talk football, we talk basketball recruiting, but I just want to let you know that you will probably see, I'll send you a picture this weekend. There's this new incredible wing place up in Northwest Arkansas, and I just wanted to give you a heads up on that I will be devouring some hot wings this weekend that I'm sure you would enjoy as well.
Yeah, I always expect some food tweets from you each week, so I'll be looking forward to it.
I think my food tweets are more controversial sometimes than my sports opinions, but I guess that's the way she goes sometimes. So, all right, Richard,
everybody has an opinion on food now.
Exactly.
Everybody.
Exactly right. Richard, we always appreciate your time on a Recruiting Thursday, man, and we will talk next Thursday.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one.